And we're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Happy hump day, everybody. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special, big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers, Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck driver. Shout out to the garbage truck driver, the public transportation bus driver. Shout out to the train driver them too. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Here we are this morning on a beautiful Wednesday morning, up and ready to go. 7:23. That sounds about right. All right, in my neck of the woods. Why the place I get crowded, so shout out to the people them that live in my city. I don't know which part we're there. Y'all can see that real estate is booming here, and the place is now crowded. Places that used to take us 15 minutes to get to is now about 35, 45 minutes in the morning. Whole heap of people moving at the place. I don't know. I just hope crime and violence don't go up around here still, because this is a quiet place. A very quiet place. But I saw the thing go. Hey, I told you it was coming. I thought it was a joke, but it's for real. Donald Trump has officially announced that he will be running for president in the 2024 U.S. Olympics. U.S. Somebody said, I don't know why all these old white men have to be president. Half of them look like they like 1 year away from a heart attack or something like that. Well, I'm gonna run them joke because these old people seem to be outliving us younger people nowadays. But Donald Trump made it. His bid is official. He did a big speech last night for over an hour to the sound of many yays and rays. And I went on Twitter and I looked, and it has a whole lot of likes and shares, which tells me that he has support. Yeah, yeah. But you know, with Donald Trump's fan base, I say fan base because a lot of the people there don't even really know too much politics. They just know that they like Donald and they want Donald to win, right? So his fan base is pretty big. It's pretty big. It's going to be interesting to see what will happen there. So what we have on the table this morning is this. Let me go from my list right here. All right. 6 red flags that he 6 red flags that tells you that he isn't right for you. I found that article very interesting, but we will counterbalance that article with our own 6 red flags that will tell you that she isn't right for you. You understand that? So them says 6 red flags that tells you he isn't right, which means they're talking to the women and they're pointing out 6 red flags that should tell a woman that the man is not right for you. Well, we are gonna give them 6 that tell the man them that this woman ain't right for you either. So we are balance the thing. Balance. All right. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Just saying. When I know, so when I say trigger warning, it goes there. Trigger warning. All right. Our next one is Jamaica declares regional state of emergency. Apparently, the gangs are out of control. Christmas are come. People don't feel safe out the road. Politicians are trying to save their seats, keep the place safe as best as they can. So they go back to the same old, same old. It's either state of emergency or zones of special operations. Also are state of emergency. And state of emergency has been declared. We're going to get into all that. Taxi driver strike update. The cabbies have broken their strike, and they have come up with some kind of a agreement that the government will come up with a payment plan for their tickets. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to revisit this mother, the mother of King, the child that was murdered, killed, that was autistic, and she's not cooperating with law enforcement to get into her phone. Her phone is in police custody. It's been confirmed that her phone is in police custody. However, there was a heated hearing yesterday over privacy rights of the woman and her phone. I have many questions still. But these are the things we're looking at. So we have the Donna Lee Donaldson case that we're keeping a close eye on. We have the Slickiana Aneka Townsend case we're keeping a close eye on. And now this is one for us to keep a close eye on as well. Right? Here we go. Before me do all that this morning, still, let me big up some people. Tyson Thompson, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Please hit that thumbs up button as you enter the room this morning. All right. We're going to talk some things up. Let me big up some people, though. Great Goodies, first one in the building this morning. Great Goodies, big up yourself, and thank you for being here. Guava 876, there. For sure. There's the WhatsApp number that's on the screen if you feel like you want to call in. My speaker should be working fine this morning. We have a new one. And June O'Brien is here. Sean Cassell is here. Says, morning, fam. Like the video as you join the live. Just hit that thumbs up button as you come in. That's all we ask. Not charge you nothing. Right? Sharon Ingram, big up yourself. Brick House, thank you for being here. Carrie Ann Jones is in the building this morning. Carrie Ann Jones says, good morning. Present teacher. Lessa Steph, hey, in the building this morning. Mr. Article Dunn is here. Dainty D is here. Kai Tai Jai Empress is in the building. Senior Sexy Daya. Soji 819 is here this morning with us. Of course, we have Marcia McGann Lopez here this morning. Stacey Ann Williams. Bromo Wright is here this morning. Up, little bro, and all tuning in on the live. Denzel Gale is in the building this morning. Nikki B is in the building this morning. Lady J is here this morning. Darlene Walter Riley. Wayne Nathan is here. Jane Ander is here. Shen J is in the building this morning. Lulu Ridges is here. Audrey Wright, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Rasta Caribbean in the building this morning. Karen Notice is here this morning. Sharon Spence, Real G, Vicky Victory, Prillis 123, Faye Van Real is here. Naturally Yours is here. T95 South is here. Maxine Good as Gold. Asserin Odetta Pussy Galore is in the building. Bro Shaka, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning. Listen, Faye Shepherd, and if I didn't call your name after this, like Seymour and the others, then you already know it's love, Purple Royal, and respect. Same way. All right. Let's get into the Pussy Galore, Beast Boy, Pussy Galore. Let's get into the topics this morning. So let's start out with what we'll start out with. We'll start out with Donald Trump's run for the presidency in 2024. People say he couldn't do it. People said, is it even legal for him to be doing it? Because, you know, he's currently under heavy investigations and these things. But I keep telling people this. Donald Trump got a couple of things going for him. He is a white man in the United States of America. Not that me I deal with racism or nothing, I just saw the thing set. You know, them get extra privileges and they can underperform and still be seen as valuable, whereas we have to overextend and overperform to even be considered, right? So naturally, he's also a billionaire, so he belongs to a special group of elite people and these things. He have a lot of money behind him, backing and all these things. So anything is anything. Soldier 819 said he's very German. Boy, anything or anything, you know. Look at the picture that I posted, though, that says Donald Trump announced his run for presidency. Want to see the picture? The icon for this video? You see who run gonna hug him up already and who is being used already as the front picture? All right, 2 black women. Protect the queens at all costs. Washington. Former President Donald Trump has announced Tuesday night, which is last night, that he is now running for president in the 2024 election, laying out an aggressively conservative agenda that includes executing people who are convicted of selling drugs. Them a big talking come back with. Yeah, including execution for people who are convicted of selling drugs. The man just went straight to his agenda. The campaign will be Trump's 3rd run for president, but his first time trying to win votes since his refusal to accept his 2020 election loss and his frantic effort to hold on to power, which led to the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th of 2021. January 6th of 2021, they stormed the Capitol. It was a big deal. Everybody with some common sense and who knows how things run said, had that group been a black group of people protesting and stormed that Capitol, there would have been a lot of dead bodies out there because military personnel on hand would have been given the order to shoot. There would have been and local law enforcement personnel because they were protecting the Capitol, right, from that insurgency. Very terroristic kind of move. And because it wasn't, though, they got to go all the way in. Them sit down in a people chair, House Speaker chair, and all these things. They tore up the place inside, and most of them got barely a little bit at any time, So that's how that went. But people don't know that what led to that was that crowd was actually coming from not too far away down the road from a Donald Trump rally. And Donald Trump actually said to the crowd, are you going to just let them take away your country from you? Are you going to just let them? And he said, go there. Now, meet me there at the Capitol. That crowd mobilized from the Capitol, from the speech, the rally, went straight to the Capitol and tear up the Capitol. So yeah, it was on his orders actually that they actually went there. I don't know how them still are trying to figure this thing out, but he hasn't been charged for it. However, the people who followed his orders, as you can see, a lot of them were charged for it. No? We are a nation in decline, is what Donald Trump says, and we are failing nations of millions of Americans. Trump said in a speech at his private Florida club, attacking President Joe Biden's record in his first 2 years in office, and he says, I will ensure that Joe Biden does not receive another 4 years. Trump filed papers with the Federal Election Commission earlier Tuesday night, in which he declared himself as a candidate for the presidency, and he established a new campaign committee. Remember, under him now, him said people who are convicted of drug selling, death should be on the table for them in the judicial system. Anyhow, the campaign will be about issues, vision, and success. This is him. And we will not stop. We will not quit until we've achieved the highest goals and made our country greater than it has ever been before. So now it's not make America greater again. It's make it greater than it has ever been before. Trump barely mentioned the 2020 presidential race, nor did he bring up his 2 separate impeachment trials. The first for leveraging U.S. foreign aid in an effort to extort Ukraine into investigating the Biden family. Did Russia not attack Ukraine after Trump left office? Okay, I'm just saying, connect some dots for yourself. And the second for his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He is under investigation for those still. Instead of dwelling on his time in office, well, he was impeached twice. Or he had 2 impeachment trials. Instead of dwelling on his time in office, Trump's speech Tuesday echoed his 2016 campaign speeches, in many painting a kind of picture that America is a failing nation ravaged by violence and crime, and during a time of pain and hardship and anxiety and despair. That was his kind of a message going on. So basically, the Biden administration is failing so bad that the country is in despair and people are suffering, and it's just going down at a mighty speed, all the way descending into hell, and he's here to save us. Trump said the greatest threat to our civilization was that what he called the weaponizing of the Justice Department and the FBI, because them weaponize it and I use it against him, which is currently investigating his handling of classified documents and his role in a massive effort to overturn the 2020 presidential election results and prevent Congress from certifying Biden's victory. Remember, he had to be forced out. He had to be evicted. Remember when time Mr. Vegas did go into the church and them say usher him out? They had to usher out Donald Trump out of the White House. The man sit down in there and said, "I'm not leaving." And they, they had to usher him out, right? And he kept telling people that the elections were rigged, they robbed him, blah, blah, blah. People were stealing votes, and just make up a whole bunch of stuff that to which he had no proof. Big investigations were carried out. Nothing was founded that he had said. Anyhow, he called for a top to bottom overhaul and clean out of the festering rot and corruption of Washington, D.C. Trump also said that he would demand a sweeping new slate of election restrictions. Black people, listen. He said that he would also demand a sweeping new slate of election restrictions, including requiring only paper ballots, only allowing voters 1 day to vote, and requiring photo ID in order to vote, and all votes counted by election. Live on the air with SouFlo, good morning. Bless up my family. Here what? I said we did ready for you this morning, but you're not coming through on my big speaker, sir. So apparently I wasn't ready.
One thing I said.
Yeah.
Trump is the man.
Trump is the man?
He's the man.
But I like how y'all laughing off family. Wait, why Trump is the man? You're Jamaican?
I'm American, but my parents is Jamaican.
You're American, but your parents Jamaican. Okay. So wait.
There's nobody to do it like him.
Explain to me what you mean, man, by there's nobody that could do it like him.
Right.
Make me understand.
One thing I'm gonna say, Trump, he loves black people, but he's not gonna show it because you gotta have the Klan man behind him to get that in the presidency.
But fam, how could you convince yourself that he loves black people if he has to have the Klan behind him?
No, he got to have the clans behind him, but he released 4 black men from prison. 4 black men, rappers, and the next guy in LA. Come on, man. Come on, black people just hard to see, you know what I mean? But you gotta play.
So you really believe this?
Yes.
Who did he release from prison though?
He released Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Kodak Black.
And
Harry O, the real owner of Death Row.
Okay, Lil Wayne sings about killing niggas all the time, shoot people in the face, and he don't care about the black community that because they didn't care about him. These are, words that were said. And Kodak Black is just, a good entertainer, is ignorant as ever. Not a good shining example of what I would want any of my children to turn out to be, but very influential to the young people. It's a strategic move, I think, that was for the people that he did release. I think some people realize that in order to connect with the black community and win them over, they have to endorse like the worst of our kind, because that is who we celebrate. Majority of us in our community, we celebrate the worst of our kind.
Understand.
That's how I see it.
This is not the first. Don King made him rich off of Mike Tyson.
Don King made Trump rich off Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah, so Tyson was robbed then by Don King and Trump.
Yeah, Tyson know he was robbed, but Tyson lived it up. And thank God he's still alive. He got his mental right.
Thank God he's still alive.
Yes, because he took a lot of blows, whatever. Thank God he's still alive. And he's all right. Tyson is doing his thing. Tyson was in Jamaica.
He survived it. He survived the he survived the beating. So
yes.
So you really support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Wow.
I grew up to that guy. And I don't want nobody to feel bad.
We don't feel bad. You know what? I want everybody to have their own political side that they're on and be able to speak, because that's what freedom is all about. You know what I'm saying? Whether you are on the opposing side or you're on the side that means well for your people, that's your choice, but you should have the freedom of choice. So ain't nobody feeling bad.
I'm not watching the politician side. Trump.
No.
He didn't grow up as a politician.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like Trump is making me feel like I could do whatever I want, because Trump grew up like a street guy.
He's making you feel like you could do whatever you want.
Yes.
I know what. I know one thing. I know you black.
Definitely.
Right? Okay, so see, I'm not looking at you on the screen, so I can't tell, but I'm just guessing. I know you black. So how does him, a white billionaire man, make a young black man in America feel like he could do anything?
Because the way he got his billions.
You can't get yours that way.
He got his billions using his head. He hustled. He didn't do a 9 to 5. He hustled. No matter how you call it, he hustled. He borrowed money from here.
He started out with a $1 million loan from his dad. Remember?
Yeah, and kept his. I understand.
I bet your dad don't have no $1 million loan for you.
Nah, that's where black people go wrong.
Yeah, but still, we go wrong right there, passing on generational wealth and stuff, building it and passing it on. But I'm trying to show you that I don't think there's no benefit in it for you, fam. I don't see no benefit in it for you. But you know, if you see benefit in it for you, then you a man. You supposed to be able to say what's good for you.
One thing I tell you. I'm gonna tell you this right now. In New York, certain Jamaicans shouldn't complain, because they seen all the money that they wanted to see. They walked out, left champagne bottles and party. They bathing with champagne bottles, whatever. They don't leave 20 grand for their kids when they die. They don't leave 10 grand. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them. My father did it. He was popping champagne left to the right.
Right. But we understand all that. We understand all that. But I want you to understand that certain things that are privy to certain people are not privy to you. And this person, actually, he don't care about that. He's not trying to level the playing field for you or your kind. That's what I'm saying. So, but hey, I'm not going to try to talk you out of nothing, man. I wanted to hear your view and I heard it. You know.
One love, too.
Thank you for that. One love, fam.
But I'm telling you, Trump.
One love. All right, so live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Yeah, SouFlo, go on.
But then enough, speak up for me here, cause make me speak and not do too good this morning. I thought I had a good one, but it no work. So I want to hear you loud and clear here. Talk again.
Yeah, I hear me better now when I chuck me there.
Yes, I hear you clear now.
All right. Me no come so about my did rate Trump. You see it, I'm a worse than a rate Biden right there. You see the diesel price? Where they? Right now that comes, I'm gonna kill with right now.
Wait there. You say worse than rate Biden?
No, me no rate Trump, but no, me used to rate Biden, but no, me no rate Biden at all. You see it.
What Biden do? What him do?
You know, see the price of the diesel right now. In Pennsylvania, like $6.49.
For what? Gas?
For the diesel for the truck.
Fuel?
Yeah.
Gas? Diesel?
Yeah, diesel.
Yeah. So you're a truck driver?
Yeah, me a truck driver.
So you're thinking personal then, because the amount of money where you have to pay for full up a tank. But you know.
Right now, I told you, me run out, and I have to pay like 1,800. You see?
Boy, brother.
Me I spend more on diesel than when me I come, so I'm earn right now. You see?
Me I drive a small SUV and me full it up Monday. Today or Wednesday, me have an appointment an hour and change away from my house, and I know it all done my gas. Today is Wednesday, and $90 something, $80 something, almost $100 full up my tank 2 days ago. So yeah, I spend $100 on gas every 2 days or 3 days myself. If you do the maths to that, that's 7 days in a week, not true? So I spend over $300 a week in a gas, just gas. But that's still not gonna make me change my mind about some other things. Understand where I said to cause that's personal, that's your income.
Yeah, man, it's a killer right now. Me not real Trump. You see, two of them come to our races, Trump and Biden. You see, but if it comes to my vote, I vote for Trump. When Trump did in, there comes we as truck driver and make our money. You see, things in the way better. No Biden coming, everything comes to my shop.
What Biden could have done if stop the gas price? Cause remember, I know as the thing went going in Russia, we kick off with Russia and Ukraine. Why the gas price them gone? Which part them gone? See? So if that never kick off with Russia and Ukraine, or if the US was friendly with Russia and side with Russia invading Ukraine, then the gas price them would have still be down. But because the US opposed the thing, so me don't know if you are looking to the thing like all you are saying is you are look to the person who can make it better for you, don't it?
For we as truck driver, not me alone.
For you, for the truck driver them.
Yeah, basically. I say if then it bring up like the load price them, it could have been way better. More don't have no problem. But you cannot drop these, you cannot rise diesel price and a drop load price. It don't make no sense. You see, and we as truck driver and make sure say yo, the store them, everything comes to them and I run and everything good. You see.
Wow.
But they want to kill we out right now.
Me understand and me feel a pain on the gas thing, but me think that there's more things like more important in your life. Can you have picnic?
Yeah, me have a you, but Jamaica and me I try to get him up soon.
All right, but him will come up here, come live as a black man in America, don't?
Yeah.
Yeah, so me I try to tell us that there are things that are more important out there than gas prices to us in the long run. But
what the difference you see where Biden are different from what Trump do?
Boy, all right, this is the thing. And people are gonna say, yeah, back in the day, Biden was this and that. He moving with the times, right? Things change and people change and times change. Me, I go with who I think is better for us. So on Trump's clock, I watch too much disrespect of black people. Law enforcement was able to get away with so much more on people who didn't deserve that. You know, there was too many black men and black women being killed or dead in custody. And the man just said, like, hey, it is what it is. Move right along. They're all criminals kind of thing. You know, remember when they classified the whole away a shithole country? Yeah, and all them things there. Like, his racism is out front to me. And even when he's blatantly that way, we take it as a joke. Like, he's just funny, man. He's just being funny. But me don't want to run them joke there.
You know, if I tell you the truth, if Trump never did stay that type of way, he would have come and be a great president, you know. That's the only problem I see with him, you know.
Yeah, and like the caller said before, him like him because he don't think Trump is racist. He just thinks he has to play up to that other side, like the extreme side of the white side, like the Klan and them kind of thing that want them endorsement and membership and stuff like that. But I'm saying, me can't like him because of that. Because how is that beneficial to me?
For real. The way I look upon it still, I look upon it and say, all of them comes from racist. You see? But when him did come from it comes about better when you come on to like the economy. You see?
Well,
even before the people in Russia, you see, remember the COVID comes from before Biden come in. You see?
Hold on there. Skytop channel say it's the ban that them put on the Russian gas is why the gas price so high.
For real.
Yeah. So it never really have nothing to do with say, you know, I don't know Biden Trump thing that some people went to war and you have to pick a side and the US pick the side they thought was morally right. If you want to get political with it, and if US did actually side with Russia when they invaded Ukraine, you know, things would have been different.
Me not have a problem
as far as gas price goes
with Ukraine because
a foolishness. I say Russia comes some and do. You see, but just because them come some and they are killing me right now out of this.
Yeah, me understand that, my brother. All right, thank you.
Yeah, man, straight out of Clarendon, CMS. Just
Yeah,
like
my fellow Clarendonian. Manners and respect, my brother. Stay safe on the
Yeah,
road,
man.
here.
Yeah, man, big up yourself.
Wait there. You're not going for Christmas?
Yeah, man, they come good on about December, early December.
All right, then. All right. Bless up.
Big up yourself, respect.
All right. Here what? Hot topic. Live on the air with SouFlo this morning. Good morning. Is it possible for speak to me?
Yes. All right.
Loud.
SouFlo, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You're in Florida, is that right?
Yes, I'm in Florida.
Okay. So just run that list down to me. He said he wants to stop voting every day, 1 day a week.
He wants to limit the voting time. You know how election is here, right? And you know voting takes place over a period of days. So
just
people can organize around their schedule and all that. He said he would take that away and he would make sure that all voting is done in 1 day.
Yeah, run the list down. He said voting 1 day. What else did he say? Because I'm going to tell you exactly what I agree with, because I'm telling you he's right. Continue.
Hold on. Let me go back into the article. He said he would limit voting to only 1 day.
Correct.
You agree with the part where he said that death penalty would be on the table for people convicted of drug offenses?
No.
Okay. Trump said that he would demand a sweeping new slate of election restrictions. A sweeping new slate of election restrictions, including requiring only paper ballots.
Correct.
Only allowing voters 1 day to vote.
Correct.
Requiring photo IDs in order to vote.
Correct.
And all votes counted by election night.
Well, I think that's a big ask. I think that reality will show that you need at least a weekend. So if voting is on, let's say, a Tuesday or a Thursday, you should have things by Monday or whatever. But the reality is that I agree with that. Was there anything else?
Yeah, besides that, I mean, he's not going to lay out the whole agenda.
No, in terms of anything that was big that you think that he said.
I'm just concerned about the slate of election restrictions, because that's an umbrella that's broad. And we don't know what's going to fall under that umbrella.
Well, I don't know about the details, but if this is all you're telling me, or this is all I hear, I'm completely in agreement with it. Because right now, it's a nightmare. It's all over the place. And let me tell you something. I'm in New York, and let me tell you what these jokers are doing in other states. They're trying to get the laws passed. They almost got it passed here. I know they did it in some other state. 30 days you're here visiting from whatever country you're in. If you can establish you've been here for 30 days, you can vote in local elections. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile, meaning politicians. Soon you'll find people will be voting anyway. That's
if you can establish that you've been living in New York and you came to stay and you have all the other proper documents that goes with your...
No. That's not what's going on in New York. If you can establish you've been here in this particular state for 30 days, you can vote in local elections.
Yeah, but how are you going to vote without all... So make this make sense to me. How are you going to vote? So if I'm there visiting for 30 days, can I vote?
Right. That's what... This is the legislation that was pushed.
I'm asking, if I'm there visiting for 30 days, and can I vote? Is that what your understanding of it is?
That's exactly what... If you're there for 30 days...
I'm visiting for 30 days. Yeah. I'm not from there. I'm visiting for 30 days. I'm going to be out in about 40 days. Can I vote?
In local elections, that was the push. Yes, it was. Meaning that, because I can go to a voting booth right now. I'm born, raised here, whatever. I can go and get a ballot, right? Like I did it before, to vote in when people have runoffs, primaries. I can get a ticket right now and put my whatever number, my last 4 digits of my number, whatever, and I can vote. You can vote in different ways when you go to the polls. So, but my point is that
you still have to be a citizen.
No. I'm telling you that the the rules that were trying to be passed, they passed it in another state, but this was what was going on in New York. I'm not sure that they didn't pass it, but I don't think they did, because it was a big brouhaha. People were calling trees in the whole 9 yards. If you were able to establish that you were here in New York for the last 30 days, you were able to vote in local elections.
Nothing wrong with that. If, say for instance, you know why that was made? If, say for instance, I'm moving from Florida to New York, right? Okay. If I'm registered to vote in Florida, but I'm moving from Florida to New York, then I would have to establish that I have been in New York for 30 days or more, and then I would be allowed to vote in New York. But all your other legal documents are still required.
No, like if you are a citizen of America, I don't care. You know, we know how it goes. You're a citizen, whatever, how you're a citizen born, whatever. You can vote. You can establish that you are moving, you have residency, or whatever the case may be. That's understandable. But it did not lay out the necessary verbiage for folks that were not U.S. citizens.
You can't vote. You just can't vote. You're not a citizen. You can't vote.
Yes, listen, let me tell you something. You don't understand what's going on in New York. New York State is open sesame here. You don't understand that if the language is not specified in any legislation that's put forth that excludes or specifically states that you are within the parameters of being able to do this or do that, let's say voting, it's open to you. The law is interpreted based on what is written. That's why the language is very important.
All right, fine.
Why don't we just deal with the Constitution, which says voting day?
So at the end of the day, what you're saying is you need Trump to come clean this place up.
I'm saying regarding the voting issue and what you specified, absolutely, positively, it's a voting day, and make it a national holiday where everyone is legally allowed to be off work. I think that the specifics like police precincts and hospitals, maybe you have voting spaces there in those places, particularly because we have folks that work in very important locations that we can't have them having to necessarily leave and wait on lines. But it is a national holiday in the country where everyone's legally.
That's hypothetically speaking, and you're saying that's what they should do. But speaking about what's going on, I want you to know that you're grossly misinformed about that 30 days stuff.
Well, let me tell you something.
Go check again. Trust me, you're off. You're off by far.
I've checked because it's not only New York, there are other states too. Now, in terms of Trump in general, this is one wing with two birds when you call Democratic and Republican Party. Most of us know that are over a certain age. You kind of know it. And then you start playing the game with yourself of, well, which one is the less of the evils and all this other stuff. If you are in business and your business is doing exceedingly well and you're doing business around the state, around the country, if you're doing business internationally, if you see and hear things that are going to support you being successful in your business, you're going to want to push that agenda. If you're
most naturally, like the guy who called earlier and talked about the gas, and he's a truck driver and diesel fuel prices, right?
It's very normal, and it affects you personally. If you don't have, we were raised here. We were raised. My great grandmother. Listen, if you don't have a Fortune 500 company or something like that, your federal politics is limited in terms of your real level of interest and affecting you. Because whoever they put in that seat there, you still got to grow you and your family and your family's needs.
Right.
You need to focus on what is important to you. So the thing is that it is local politics that really affect you most immediately, and federal politics are of the interest to you predominantly, not exclusively, but predominantly when you are in business in this country.
Right. I understand what you're saying about the local thing, but the part where you are talking about that 30-day stuff, please go look it up again.
Even
with the open eye, just slow down, just take my advice, just slow down and just go through it. One of our things as grown people is that when we think we're right and we go wrong and strong, it's okay to stop and go look again. I'm telling you right now, go look again.
let's say I'm totally wrong. So
yeah.
let's say I'm XX totally wrong. That's one issue based on a lot of things going on here in this country. It's one thing is the voting, right? Which is a big deal, but that's one. But let me tell you something. It's enough already. What the current group that's in the White House now and taking over the Senate, where have we benefited? Where have we benefited with this party? What is the benefit? We're just running scared from another person or party?
What was your benefit with the other party?
Let me just tell you this.
What was your benefit with the other party?
Well, answer this question first. What have you benefited with the party in place now?
What have you benefited with the party before?
Yeah, you see, I don't care about the party before. I don't have an alliance or an allegiance.
No, the party before was the one that is intended to go in again. We're talking about the Trump versus, or okay, let's break it down like this: Democrat versus Republican. Right. Okay. So if we break it down like that, and we're talking about Trump because he was the last one before the Democrats took over under Biden, right, and Harris, correct? So I'm asking. Okay, so I'm asking you, what was the benefits that you got then?
It's the benefits, at least on this, because I know this is a whole program. On the surface, on the benefit, it's very clear. You did not have gazillion people coming into the country shifting focus on the needs for the people that are already here. So let me tell you something. You got a whole swath of people that are just literally education, homelessness, and where are you getting this money to help millions of people coming in illegally? Where is that? Where's that coming from? Oh, 87,000 IRS agents that's going to be hired with guns. Because the PPP loans and whatever you think you got in the taxes, that you think you got $1,500 in the PPP loan, you got $2,500, but they're coming to get that back in $1,750. Everything's coming backwards. It's all going to turn around. This government is set up to win. It's like going to the slot machines. The reality is that you can't keep bringing more things and people and situations.
So that's another issue you have is immigration, and too many immigrants are coming into the country. That's what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying, I want to be very clear, because most of our families, or you're married into, or you're cleaved to, we're all the same folks when it comes to Black folks. But what I'm saying is that I can't go to Jamaica, Japan, I can't go to Jordan, any other country, and just simply have so many people coming in illegally. You can't just say that's okay.
So illegal immigration is a part of your argument. I asked you what were the benefits that you received from under the Trump administration, and you went off talking about immigration.
You can't tell me what the benefits are with the guy in the office now yourself.
I can tell you. Listen, okay, so first of all, right, do you remember Donald Trump trying to get rid of the healthcare system that they called Obamacare? You remember that?
I recall that being said. I don't know exactly what happened because that was
no. He was very bent on getting rid of it. Everybody who paid attention throughout all his years in office, his goal was to get rid of Obamacare. Now, what good would that have done to leave underprivileged Americans uninsured?
Okay, so
let's start there, because you asked me, I'm asking you the same thing. You still haven't answered me yet, so I'm answering you now.
You're not talking about Biden. You're talking about Trump again. You're not talking about what he's done. What has Biden done?
I am telling you that the same policy is still in place, and Biden isn't fighting it. Biden came from the administration with President Obama, and a lot of those things were implemented or re-implemented under Biden that were beneficial to us in the first place. Trump spent his whole presidency trying to get rid of all those things that were set in place.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think what is the truth is that even if he wanted to get rid of the quote Obama,
you don't have to think that's the truth. Everybody saw it. He made it a campaign out loud.
Yeah, but there was a campaign out loud to focus on a certain group of people by Biden and forget about another group like us. You know, he said that out loud.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Biden telling Black folks, you can take a seat back. If you don't vote for me, you're not this. And focusing on
that man never said take no seat back, but he did say something about if you didn't vote for me, then you're not. And he was probably saying that the other people don't have your best interests at heart. So if you don't vote for me, then you probably don't have your own best interest at heart.
No, I think we're blinded by the promises of one party that never really come to fruition. He's in office now, and you're not still getting anything. And I tell you one thing: it is one bird with two wings. I don't have an allegiance to either side.
No, that's me too. I don't have an allegiance to either side.
Right.
I go with who's able. Like for instance, I'm in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a Republican governor in Florida, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah. And I'm under that Republican governor, and I'm fine with it because I saw what happened previously, and that Republican governor stood for us in Florida as Floridians, where we were able to make a choice instead of being herded, if you know what I'm talking about.
Correct.
Okay, so
that's how I feel.
Do you remember under Trump? Do you remember Warp Speed? Operation Warp Speed? Do you remember that was supposed to be about?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that supposed to be about?
Let me tell you.
If Trump had been elected again, Operation Warp Speed would have went into full effect, and he said it on his campaign trail. What was Operation Warp Speed supposed to be about?
Okay, I listen. You're in the medical field, right? I'm not.
I'm asking you, what was it supposed to be about?
I'm gonna answer you, SouFlo. I'm telling you this. I have to.
It's just a sentence. It's not even a sentence. It's just say what was it supposed to be about.
We know it was the push out of that particular shot.
There wasn't no push out. It was mandatory. It was going to be made mandatory for all citizens across this America here. For everybody here and legal resident would have had to have taken it. And they asked him, how are you going to do that? He went further. He said, I'll use the military. Y'all, you forgot all that?
No. What I do know is that you were mandated to take it by the federal government.
Come on, man.
Florida wasn't hit.
You are one of them, my friend. You are one of them. You're one of those people who, no matter what that particular person says, you're still going to be a fan of theirs, and you're still in your vote. Your vote is still going to lean in that. You gotta be a fan because you can't speak the facts. So you must be a fan.
You can't force people to agree with your statements because you feel you have you know all the little nuances of, let's say, medical. I may not be in medical, but I believe in facts.
I'm not talking about medical.
I believe in facts.
I'm not
facts. What has the president?
You believe in facts, and you've been getting facts from me, and you still haven't given me any facts, and yet still you believe in what you believe in.
You know, the fact is Biden did mandate, and New Yorkers and everybody else, but maybe not Floridians because your governor wasn't going for it. He allowed certain things not to go for. Facts that mandates were made by the president in place right now. That's a fact. That's what actually happened.
Yeah, right. So we're just going to ignore the Operation Warp Speed. We're going to ignore his whole campaign promise. It didn't happen because he didn't get reelected.
So, but it did happen with your guy in office now.
What happened?
He mandated it federally.
Okay, but now what? We didn't have to do it in Florida because of our governor.
That's right.
Okay. So there are certain things that are done at a state level, certain things that are done at a more national level, and that's just the way how politics works.
But he mandated it.
It wasn't mandated for everybody. It wasn't mandated for everybody, though.
It was mandated, and it was knocked down in Supreme Court where it was localized to the health workers. It was mandated.
And people had a lot of choices in between.
Bus drivers, my family, we lost jobs. People just worked as sales reps in big companies, lost jobs. Then he mandated it. That's who mandated it. So we got to talk facts, not what if and he was going to and this was going to happen.
You want to talk like everything you say is facts, but nobody else is mentioning facts.
I'm not saying
that. I'm giving you all facts, and you're relegating what I'm giving you to talk about facts, not what could have happened. I'm talking facts.
Right. That's facts. So you got to understand, see what the guy is doing in office right now, what factually happened and what has happened thus far. This is absolutely insane.
Listen, wrap it up for me.
I'm going to wrap it up for you.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in a state, let's just say it, because I'm in New York, I'm going to use New York, and it's only fair.
Wrap it up.
If you're sitting in a state and you have family that have to go into the homeless shelter that's working for the city, and for whatever reason they have to go in, and they're in, and they're not being able to get out because they're servicing people coming into the country illegally first before them. That's crazy. You got to clean up your own house before you start inviting guests over or allowing guests to come in, and that's not acceptable. And I don't care if I was in, which I love Jamaica, actually. I was in Jamaica or I would understand that.
Okay.
But we are being besieged with it. And I thank you for the time.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Why do most women argue like that? Like, no matter how you come with proof, they'll be like, okay, let's go around that and back to the other thing. And like I was saying, and that's been my experience. Like, come on now. That sister is so off in her information, but that's just to show you. You see how much of them misinformed and they're wrong and strong, and they're running with the wrong and strong, you know? So the idea that Trump cannot be president again, I did a video before this where I said Donald Trump will be president of the United States of America again. And here is why. And if this one thing happens, he will definitely be. And now it's all coming to fruition. But watch and see. Hold on. Let's take another phone call real quick. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning. Brother, you're low. Morning, my day, but we can't go hear you because we don't have the speakers this morning. Well, your voice volume is low. I know my brother, but me I try to tell us that them not gonna hear you this morning. Can y'all hear him? Them not gonna can't hear you, and I want them hear you. So me not have the speaker with me.
First of all, you should ask her how much check them cut to her during me not gonna mention the name. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Me not like endorse her. Me not mention how much check them cut to her. You understand? What policy was put in place for her to benefit from it? And why is it that she are mortalizing her ancestors them like that? You get what I'm saying? And how much kids she have. And I am wondering if all of her kids are adult. And how many girl child she have. Yo, I'm so furiated. I'm not really gonna disrespect her over the phone.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I respect you so much.
Yeah, don't do that. And we can disagree and still keep it kosher.
No, this is not even on a level on disagreement. You get what I'm saying? To me, I think she's watching too much Fox News.
See, all right.
Because everything that she's saying, I am telling you, this is what these people been saying during Ringy presidential time. Is she crazy or something?
All right.
You have one of Ringy opponent them in the way they're talking about people cutting out young girls' clit. Are we in Nigeria?
Do you see the picture that I used for the icon for this video? No,
I was gonna click on it, but because I didn't want to miss out on what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of have an idea the picture that you put out. Is she listening to these people?
Brother, may I tell you, a lot of our people,
they're gonna use a bulldozer and she live in New York. Does she forgot what they did with New York?
The caller is the caller with the caller's opinions. May I tell you, say, let's make your blood pressure go up too high because it's a lot of them that are out there.
But I'm saying, and even my fellow Jamaican that called you earlier on, brother, listen to me. I know you're listening right now. I am a truck driver because I went into it after the pandemic and thing. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, and I'm gonna give a statement for it.
Same.
You know the why reason I go in it? Because I love the medical field.
Same.
I was in the medical field.
And you left it for trucking.
You get what I'm saying? It's a week before when I found out that the lady that got me in, she's a Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
And she was gonna screw me over. So the week before she screwed me over, I was already registered to get my license. Now you gotta understand something, and I think they're not watching. The thing is a global thing. Is it the first that we've been in recession?
No.
Okay, my brother and the lady, you gotta understand, when Richard got into the office, the first week is 3 blue book that he scrapped off things. That's why the country is in certain turmoil. Are you guys crazy or something? The man demolished what Obama put in place. All he had to do was generate and spin a few things. And this is why we're in what we're in now.
Facts. Facts.
You are sitting there crazy like you are one of them that your son, if you have a son, he's going to look at one of them girls out there and know you want East to start a family and he can't start a family because of underneath her crutch. You got these grown men stand up in the office and talking about females' reproductive system. What the hell we know about in a woman's
taking
womb?
away her rights concerning her own
we
reproductive
know about
system.
In a woman's womb. It's a decision for them either to carry it, yes or no. We don't even know what they are going to push out.
You saw the one that said, yes, if she got raped, they said, okay, so in the instance of rape, would you say? And he said, yes, she would still have to carry it because God must have ordained that.
Believe you me.
And all children are a blessing.
And we're talking now in the off key. If you say go, I say SouFlo. If you say go, I'm asking where to meet you.
Seeing. Yes, my brother. A lot of them out here.
My brother, truck driver, hold strong. It's not the first.
Seeing.
Listen, this is in place to show certain things. They're trying to show up the man. The man ain't doing anything. What he's trying to do is put back in place what was destroyed. It's the repercussion we're feeling right now, and it makes it seem like they are waiting. Listen, they are not the greatest. And I'm not going to lie, my brother. They are not the greatest right now.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But they have to understand, they have to wait on things to put in place for it to turn over.
And you're saying it's still better than that, Trump being a choice?
Of course.
All right.
Are they listening to this man? Are they listening to these people? And you come up here talking about, oh, what's going on in New York and stuff like that. Stop paying to people who are coming in here.
She has a thing about immigration and about people coming into the country and whatnot.
Then you will see the effect.
Right.
All of what you're talking about, you want to see in place. If you see the resource and help it out, then you will see the effect. It doesn't happen overnight.
You know how we are, right? We have this, what I'm calling the syndrome again, where you fall in love with your abusers. And we also have this very short, we have a short attention span. We have a short memory span.
Listen,
as well,
lady,
as a people.
Lady, honestly, I am not going to disrespect you. I love my black people. But hear what
Stockholm
I'm saying.
syndrome, Kaitai John.
You say during now and during Trump run his presidency, please just listen to the show. Don't call in about your about Fox News ideology. Just let it stay where it's at. And you get what I'm saying? Just listen. And if you're giving him a thumbs up, you give him a thumbs up. And if you don't want to, just let it stay like that. Until after when he did his thing.
You're saying why you're from her again?
Going anywhere. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Manners and respect, my brother.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you. One love. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFlo. How are you?
I'm good. I get the speakers to work, but now I have to stay in one position. So I see me move about so much. Talk your talk now.
Okay. This is what I don't understand. What has Biden done? Biden has tried, what about climate change? Biden has tried to work on climate change. Student loans. The lady is saying that, something about IDs. We always have to present our driver's license when we go to vote.
Right. You always have to present a government ID and more than one form of ID.
That is not a new thing. That has always been.
Right.
The part where she's saying that anybody can vote if they can prove that they're living in New York for 30 days. I don't think so.
Even if you're a visitor.
No. Because the Constitution doesn't give anything for illegal immigrants to vote. You have to be a United States citizen.
Right. And that sister is wrong and strong. We established that she is wrong and strong. The thing about it is, when some people, you see, it's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I might be wrong, but I'm gonna go look it up and cut conversation right there. That's how I am. I'm not gonna argue with you 15 minutes straight of hearing I'm wrong and hearing other persons giving me facts when I can't give them any and still think I am right. There's something wrong with that kind of reasoning. So I hope she go look it up.
No way an illegal immigrant is able to vote. It doesn't give any right to them to vote, whether locally or nationally. So I don't understand where she gets that from.
Well, you know,
I don't understand.
There's a lot of our people that are thinking that way. That's the message I wanted to put out. So you see those.
And Biden has worked on climate change, which is so important. Climate change is important.
Amongst other things.
Yes,
like keeping universal health care in place. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the word Obamacare was actually meant to be an insult, because when he came up with the whole thing and decided he was going to push it through, matter of fact, he didn't come up with it. The Republicans came up with that first, and then the Republicans turned on it when Obama revisited it, revamped it, and put it into power, right? Pushed it through. They started calling it Obamacare, and they call it Obamacare for a reason, because they know that there's a large population of certain people who just hate anything that Obama is attached to, so they call it Obamacare. You know what Obama said? He said, you know what, if that's going to be my legacy, then that's going to be a great legacy, so I'll call it Obamacare too, just like you just called it. But it was meant to be an insult in the first place, you know.
Also remember, the Republicans said they had a better health care coming for us, right?
Right, and they couldn't come up with nothing.
And they couldn't come up with one.
Right, and that's why Obama grabbed that one and said, but this is a good one. They say I don't agree with stuff that the other side does, but I do. This is a good one. Why not push this one through? And they're like, that's not good. That's not good enough. We'll come up with something better. And he was like, well, until you come up with something better, I'm going to push this one through.
And so based on regarding the gas price.
SDs, have a good day. Thank you.
Inflation has been upon us since the COVID-19, right?
Right.
It just didn't have to do with Obama being president.
Right.
It had to do with the COVID-19 that we all experienced.
Right.
Okay, the war also contributed to it.
Right.
Now, this is my theory. If President Trump was president during this time when the war is going on, probably he would have erred on the Russian side. Probably. Which would be morally wrong. But
I have another theory too.
Yeah, probably if he was on the Russian side and Jack would be out.
If he was, I think if he was still there, Russia would not have attacked Ukraine.
Exactly, Russia would not have attacked Ukraine, right?
If Trump was the president of the U.S., Russia would not have attacked Ukraine.
No. So I'm gonna blame the price of gas on the Biden administration. I wouldn't do that.
Right, you can't.
I would not do that because inflation. Remember, it's not only America that is experiencing the high price in gas. It's not only America.
Everywhere that doesn't have their own oil supply. Yes.
Exactly, the war and plus inflation from what the COVID-19 has done to the entire world.
Right.
So I don't know why they're blaming Biden for the price of gas.
It's politics. It's politics, my friend. It's politics. It's politics.
And even some of the callers are really saying that the Biden administration are the reason why the prices of gas is so high. I don't understand that.
All right. Wrap it up for me so we can move on with this thing.
It's over. Okay, thank you.
All right, manners and respect.
Okay.
All right. So listen, here we are with this. Let's just know this, okay? Just let me take one more call upon this and then we're going to move on to our next topic. That one I heated this morning because obviously we're Jamaicans and we're Caribbean people here. But most of us who are tuned in this morning actually live here. So this kind of politics affects us, right? It affects the world, really. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Live on the air.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, good morning.
You sound like you lick your finger, them man, and I eat breakfast. How I eat?
Not you know, me just finish eating.
Talk to me, man. You're on the air live.
Right, so the first woman, you know, she had talked about in New York State, you have to have.
You're the on the people them job, you
ID.
whisper. You hide.
You hear me?
You hide. You're the on the people them job, you hide.
Me in the bathroom, I'm supposed to go work soon.
That's all right, hurry up and say what I say.
All right, so look outside. The lady was saying that in order to vote, you don't need an ID. You have to be a citizen. Yes, you do. You have to be a citizen in New York State.
All right.
And that's the law. That's Constitution of the United States law. That's the first thing. The next thing is about Trump. You can hear me now?
Yeah, man, we can hear you now.
About Trump. She's saying that he's supposed to come back and whatever, but listen, when he was here, there was so much chaos and turmoil. I don't even know what you're talking about. We were disrespected. We were, and he was, as you say, he wasn't looking out for us. Trump cared with himself. Anything that can get him back into power is what he's concerned about. Not about anything, not about like, oh, like people or nothing. If it's to help him, he will do it. That's why I'm pretty rap at him. That's why I'm kind of talk to Kanye. That's why Kanye moves up. Candace Owens, you know, Candace Owens, that's why she moves up. They are getting close to him. And he is using them just for now. But him already know what, not like a Robbie. No concern, Robbie.
All right. All right. Big up yourself here.
All right. Take care.
Me hurry up and come off, because I don't want to catch her. Because you can't tell me, say, I up on the job, she had thief a call. Anyhow, here we are, moving right along. So let's end this segment. All right, see the one more here, and then we'll end it after this. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning, family. Wagwan.
Republican win.
What I say? You need them to win.
Yes, I am.
All right, so you are a fan of, or you are a Trump supporter then?
You know what I mean? I'm not business what I want, sir. I care more about what I'm doing. Man come in and cut tax down to the white piece of business owner. Me hustle America.
Yeah, so you're a business owner here in the US.
You know what I mean?
All right, and you were affected.
And then on top of that, my wife a travel nurse. So you work on contracting and medical field, so you understand.
Right. When them chop out that big chunk of tax, they'll tell you money. I'm not lying at the end of the year. That's why I tell people sometimes, say, listen, me not get back money, me have to pay money, especially when me do all businesses combined, and all my income them combined, me have to pay back money, and sometimes I some chop me get to see.
You listening?
Yeah.
Bro, I work in tax resolution, right? So I used to work at Google, right?
Right.
We started a company a couple of years ago, right? What we do is we deal with nothing but law firms and accounting firms across the country that do in tax resolution.
That's what your business does?
Yeah.
All right.
We run search campaigns. We run Google search campaigns for companies.
Okay.
So obviously, if you have a business or a service, when somebody types in, you know, this business to me, you want your business service to rank number one, right?
Yeah.
You want that click, right?
Right.
This is how the game works nowadays, right?
Right.
That's why the two guys that started Google dropped out of college and became billionaires. It's unlimited advertising space, and they can target you.
Right.
Google has 19 million data points about every single American. Facebook has about 55,000.
All right, y'all give me analytics. Where we are get to?
What I'm saying is, they know everything about everyone that lives, right?
Hold on. All right, go on, talk.
The way that the marketing works, right? The presidency, right, is a popularity contest, right? They spend billions and billions of dollars on marketing. They spend a lot on ads over 2 years, right or wrong?
Yeah, where we are get to?
So I understand how the system works from the inside, how you use marketing to manipulate people, right, to shape their opinion. Because there are different ad campaigns that are being run at the same time. They're running certain types of ads for impression, right, to build awareness. They're running certain types of ads for intent, to build consideration. These are the things that are being used as digital strategies, right, to get people to think a certain way.
What y'all try say though? Just get to it in raw layman's terms, where we can understand. What you really are trying to say?
Well, I just believe that, you know, a lot of this socialist stuff and a lot of stuff the Democrats are preaching to try to like whitewash stuff and make everything correct, right? A lot of it is BS. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously a few big companies control the internet, right? So they can struggle to anybody that, right? Which is a very good thing. So my point is that if you look at what the have done versus the things that people are said, right? I'd rather go with track record than track record.
All right, I get it. In the breakup, I can't really hear what him says. So keep talking.
They're going to run billions of dollars worth of ad campaigns in the next 2 years to shape opinion.
Yeah, man, but we know that. But what are you getting to? Both parties are going to be doing it. Both parties are trying to win over new people and trying to get the most people on their side. That's how you win an election. And we're in a world where influencers are a big thing, and ad campaigns are made to influence people. Coca-Cola don't put up a campaign just to put up a campaign, a advertisement campaign. They put up a campaign hoping to get more people to drink Coca-Cola. Walmart put up a campaign to get more people to come into Walmart instead of going to another store. So at the end of the day, what you really are saying? Can we understand the other part there already? The question is, Trump is running, has announced his run, and what were your benefits under him, and why would you choose him over the other, or do you? And you say, yeah, you do, and it's because of you're a business owner in the U.S., and under him, you won't get taxed the hell out of yourself.
That's one. And what I'm trying to explain to you is the Democrats, they control the media, bro. Who controls the internet, right? Facebook controls media, right? So if they're the ones
why are you saying, but who controls the media again?
They'll if you start saying the wrong stuff on your channel, they'll scrub you off the internet.
Yeah, of course, but that happens under both Democrat and Republican leadership.
Exactly, but right now.
So how are you saying the Democrats control the media?
So if the Republicans, you say Fox News had Google and Facebook, right, and Microsoft.
If the Democrats control the media, don't you think people like Fox News would be more silenced?
I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is the people that have the power, they're going to use the power, right? So you got to look at everything that's coming from the media with a fine-tooth comb and be very careful what you listen to, because a lot of this stuff is being contrived.
Yeah, tell that to the sister who called earlier and said she's that's the reason why she wants to vote for Trump, because anybody can vote in local elections in New York, because all you have to do is prove that you've been there for more than 30 days.
I don't know about that, bro.
All right.
They have like 10,000 lawyers on each side of election night. So for that's damn near impossible. So like all this election stealing shit, I can't run with that. Like I said, my mom was a lawyer, bro, and you know we live in America. This is a litigation nation, right? It's a lawful country, right? Any you go to court, right? So you can't.
So let me round this up for you, Carl. We don't have a long time, and we're getting to the end of the show. Your vote will go to Trump.
Hell yeah, if he runs against Biden, unless if they put DeSantis up there, I'll vote for DeSantis.
And you are a Jamaican businessman in the United States of America.
Yes, sir.
All right. Point blank period. That's what I wanted to get to. All the other stuff we can talk about later. I'm doing kind of a survey thing this morning because I told my audience this, and a lot of them don't believe it. So it's been quite a few of you that have called in all morning, and very blunt about your support for Trump and why. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, bro. Think about it. When you get paid from YouTube, think about me, bro. Right? Because I'm the guy behind the scenes running multi-million-dollar ad campaigns, right? That are putting placements on places like YouTube and across the web, bro.
No, I can't think about you, man, because y'all be hurting my channel. Because I see channels. I see. Okay, so if you that guy, then you gotta explain to me how come when they keep telling me that stuff that's not monetizable, but I see it monetized on other channels.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to do you a solid, right? I'm going to start putting some placements on your channel. Watch. Remember, I told you it's going to be related to just accounting firms and law firms, but I'll put some placements on your channel. I got you, bro.
I have placements on my channel. I have lots of placements on my channel, but I'm saying it ain't working right. It ain't working right. So I don't know if I'm going to think about you while I'm, I'm watching Injustice.
Everybody needs tax resolution, bro. So listen, I'm going to put some in-stream ads, right? Some skippable in-stream ads placements. I'm going to put a couple of those on your channel.
I got a lot of those already. But if you can put more, then go ahead. Yes, I'm not a fool.
Okay, think about it, right? The keyword that's the most valuable right now across the nation is what? Lawyer, followed by number 2, what? Attorney, right? Those are the expensive keywords, bro. Right? We have clients that are paying $400 a click in New York for the word attorney. Okay. Money clicks 10 times, that's $4,000, bro. We're not dealing with small businesses.
I got you, man.
I got you, man. Just listen. Just you'll see.
Right? All right, brother. Okay. All right, manas. Hey, I don't want you to come tell me about I was conspiring with some internet hacker to put commercials on my channel that's gonna run and get me money. Listen, I ask if you put on my channel where YouTube is not going to legalize first. I only go through legal measures, and cause so you get caught up in people. Agents are out there. I'm not taking no more call for right now. Right now, we need to skip on to our next topic. But let me finish this segment by saying this. Watch how them set you up. See, I'm not fooling at this enough. When I was purchasing some property in Florida here, right, a lady out of nowhere came. She was this saving savior in grace, and she was the angel, knight in shining armor that was supposed to get this combat veteran all his benefits towards purchasing property and make everything go smoothly and all this. The first thing the woman started talking to me about is PPP loans. So I thought it was weird, right? I thought it was weird. And I said, why is she talking to me about PPP loans? And here are no. She says, listen, everybody is doing it. I'm doing it. I just got like a $15,000 check and I got another one coming in. And I just told them that, I have a business with 2 employees and I'm not keeping afloat or whatever. And, she was like, you could take a large chunk of this money and just pay this property off up front in no time and stuff like that. My red flags went up already. I said, somebody sent an agent to me so them can drag me to prison. Me not jump that easy. I'm a Virgo. I'm really very analytical. So when you skip past the line, me read through every line 4, 5, 6 times and stop and try to figure out, well, it could have mean this or could have meant that. And because of that personality, me save myself. Out of nowhere, halfway through the deal, I'm doing my stuff legally with her, but every time she see me, and she was seeing me like every other day, because we are driving all over the place. Hey, I found this property you might want to look at. Come on, meet me over here at this address, that address. So at least about 4 times out of the week, if not 5, I was seeing her for months. And every time she come through, you thinking about that PPP loan thing yet that I told you about? Yeah. Oh, then I see what happened with the PPP loan. Halfway through buying this house, that woman, they disappear from one day to the next. I'm calling the company that represents this agent like, hey, how come I'm not even able to get in touch with my agent? All my calls are going unanswered and this and that. They're like, oh my God, so you were left in the middle of a deal? Okay, we'll assign you somebody else, whatever. The next person come, she not talk about no PPP loan, she talk straight. This person that we are assigning you is actually the wife of a veteran, and she understands, actually her husband is still active military. She understands this and that because she's helped many others with you with the same paperwork. Me say, all right, send that the person. That woman disappear, call from one day to the next. I presume me did I go. Y'all see what happened to the PPP people after that? So then we set you up. So again, The brother would just call and talk about, yeah, and I'm gonna put some stuff on here. Please don't put nothing on my channel that is not legal and supposed to be on my channel. Make YouTube do what they have to do. I'm partnered with YouTube. I work with YouTube. I make my declaration. I am of no part of anybody's anything. I work with YouTube and I work with their community guidelines, their rules and regulations. That's it. With that said, prison, me not in it. Can't I dry Empress? Me not into it. Yeah, them sent a crook. No crook. They sent a bait. They sent a bait. Because listen, when you take that 15,000 or that 45,000, some people took 1.something million. Talk about I have this company with 8 employees and 4 trucks. And when you take that money there, the judge don't want to hear, man, it was this lady that came through when I was doing some real estate deals and she, she inveigled me. She twisted my arm and told me about this and take it, and I took it. They don't want to hear all that. The judge is going to say, you took the money, right? You took the money and saying that you had a business that had so many employees and whatever. You can't present the business or the so many employees and all this other stuff. Where's all your tax papers representing this business? Blah, blah, blah. This don't add up. After prison you go. And them give you a 10-year and a 15-year. Me, DNT me. Maybe go and try me, I tell you about me. DNT me. I'm not made for nobody prison, especially in 10 and 15 years. Lock up in a cage with man. No, sir. Skip me. So they didn't catch me with that one. Moving on from this, you now know that Mr. Toupe, Orange Man, Donald Trump is running for president again, and we're going to see how this one turns out. I have a good feeling that if the people do not come out that are on the other side, if them come out in droves like how they came out when Obama won, or like how they came out when they gave it back to Biden again, if them not come out in droves like that, you remember when people were crowded in the streets and say, yo, this is an emergency, like we have to vote like this, Trump will be president again, for facts. But then people are going to run them thing anyway they want to run it. So we'll wait to see. All right? We're orange aranga tanga. Hey, man, listen. Jamaica under state of emergency. All right, let's switch topics real quick. So Jamaica is under a state of emergency right now. And the state of emergency that Jamaica is under right now is a serious thing. If you're going to Jamaica anytime soon, you might land right into a SOE, state of emergency. You'll see soldier and police and mostly soldier all over the place. Vehicles are being stopped. People are being searched. Certain places are under curfew. You might see some of them open back vehicle with a couple man in it because under this state of emergency, they're able to roll through neighborhoods, just grab up a couple of you, throw them in there and lock them up with no explanation for a couple of months. Me know say you're bad somebody, yo. Me know, but me just can't prove it yet. So yo, go up in the vehicle. And the boy go up in the vehicle. Yo, we want a peaceful Christmas. So you are going to sit down in here until February. After Christmas and New Year's, we are going to celebrate. You are going to sit down in here until February. February, we'll let you out here. You can come back Valentine's Day for your lovey and them thing there. That all that happens under state of emergency. So Kingston, Jamaica, Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Andrew Holness, on Tuesday declared a state of public emergency in parts of the capital, Kingston, and in some central and western parishes in an attempt to control rising crime linked to gang violence. He actually did a speech, and it is because of gang violence why he has called another state of emergency. He don't want to have a bloody Christmas. State of emergency give authorities increased power, including the ability to search buildings and carry out arrests without a warrant. That is what state of emergency is, and more things go on under it. Basically, constitutional rights of citizens are suspended to a degree under state of emergency. This is why a lot of citizens don't like state of emergency, right? Hopefully, the father striking. Yo, Bro Shaka said, Bro Shaka behave yourself. Bro Shaka said, hopefully the father strike him before election time come. You know, man, So yeah, that's that. All that happens under state of emergency, and that's why a lot of people don't like it. They're like, okay, listen, we're working with y'all, man, but please come up with something else. Me see a lady last night on a video, and she was like, them just roll up in here, them grab my nephew and my son, was stand up outside a talk. The woman chest bloody up. She said, me open my door, me say my son and my nephew head a bleed. The two of them head a bleed and them collar them up. So me I try to figure out what happened. The police woman, the soldier woman come tell me about you, girl, go back over there, sir. And then them start just haul and pull me, lick me down on the ground and everything. Me I try and hold my nephew and my son and comfort them. So that's why my chest bloody up like this. I'm mad something not go on. Mad something not go on. State of emergency gives authority increased power, including the ability to search buildings and carry out arrests without a warrant. Tuesday's measure applied to areas that include popular tourist destinations, to include, of course, Big Montego Bay. Right. You know, so maybe a ton up. And these parts of Kingston ton up as well. Clarendon is included in it as well. So if me drop in at the place and one guy me yard, me have to go encounter this as well. I tell you what, on one hand, I'm like, me dropping a state of emergency and zones of special operation already. Me see people get killed in state of emergency and zones of special operation already. Big shootout. But I've also seen where the heightened presence on the road, it kind of give you a sense of relief, you know? When you say police and soldier, everywhere you know, say, boy, I'm there for visiting, I'm there for about a week or 2 weeks. So, and everywhere you go, you see them, you kind of feel a bit more safe than if you're traveling and traversing and you don't see any of them out there. So it's a win, lose, catch 22 kind of thing. You know, some are going to favor it and some won't. If them not draw when none of your family members them, you might favor it because you want to be safe. But if they're drawing away your family members them unjustly, then, you know, Ricky and Steve just out of gate a chill out, a talk. Him just come from school, him just come from work. A cousin, two cousins, them are brother and them live right next door to each other. And them jump up, draw up with the Jeep and say, go up in it. And man gone for months. And at the end of months, them tap them on them shoulder and say, all right, come out, go on your yard. Like nothing is, them not give them nothing. Like you were a suspect in this, your name calling this, we need you for your ID parade, you were under investigation for that, you've been linked to A, B, or C, none of that. Just pull up, grab them, gone with them, kind of thing. Let them out when them feel like. We have seen, this is what the Prime Minister said. He said, we have seen an increase in criminal activities in these areas and a threat to property and some instances, public disorder. Some people saying it's the police, them, it's the taxi driver, them, what caused this because the way how they showed yesterday that they could disrupt the system. Remember, you know, JUTC bus them full and overcrowded and have to make double trip to help out with how much people left a road yesterday. See? So just the taxi driver and the public bus, minibus them and stuff striking showed them. So they're thinking, yo, under state of emergency, place would not run different. Like them wouldn't strike on all that and all this. So it is what it is. But the Prime Minister said we have seen an increase in activities, criminal activities, threat to property and threat to persons, some instance in public disorder. Some instances, public disorder. This is what Holness said in a televised address. What we are seeing with gang activity in these areas is cause for grave concern, he added. Andrew Holness predicted an increase in murder over the next several weeks with the onset of the holiday season when violent crimes typically spikes. That's not no question. Me predict that every year. And people tell me pie about it. So I always a bad mouth Jamaica. Or come in like, yeah, pray for bad things happen. So them few people, them not even pay them no mind. Because it's just me looking at the analytics of things. It happens every single year. I don't know criminal out here and say, yo, me, I'm a youth them for feed, you know. And them have Christmas tree around our yard now. You know, everybody Yankee eyes now. So them want big present wrap up on these things. And the pressure is on a lot of providers. So some people turn to criminal activities and these things. Why, I know the Christmas time, I want to eat a food in the new year. Also, it's been proven that each time a year ends, Some people feel like I failed all my resolutions. This is a last ditch to start a new year fresh. This bank where you think about rob, or this business you think about rob all year. December 1st are the good time for do it, because the money up in there, because they make enough money, and you can start a new year fresh off, pocket full of money. So with that said, and all the activities going on, drugs are come through the place, holy pite. I just saw 2 new reports of how much the hundred thousands of dollars of worth of cocaine found again and again, 2 more in 2 different places. People start to have more parties. Them start take more drugs. Who snort coke start take more. Who smoke crack start take more. All illegal stuff just amps up at the end of the year. So the Prime Minister predicting an increase in murder, we know that already. It happens every single year. Commissioner of Police Anthony Anderson on Tuesday said that 1,360 murders have been registered in Jamaica between January 1st and November 13th so far. Today is November 16th. 3 days ago, from January 1st till the 13th of this month, 1,360 is what they have on paper, people murdered. And an increase, that is an increase of 6.8% compared to the previous period of 2021. Gang violence was the reason for 71% of those murders, he said. So in other words, then what they're saying is if they could stamp out the gangs in Jamaica, then our murder rate in Jamaica would probably be very low. And most of the people them where get killed, them either gangster or associated with gangster in some way where people use them as reprisal. You know, mummy no have to inna nothing, you know. Our mad son out a road can inna something. But, you know, Juba do something and them a hide and they can't find them. So them go find him mother. So mummy become a casualty now, even though she wasn't a gangster. Them kind of something that are going, right? So as we stand right now, gang violence, he said, was the reason for 71% of those murders. We need to start the state of emergency thing and lock it down before the year end so we can have a more peaceful holiday season. You know, Jamaica is a very religious country, leaning Christianity. So Jesus and Bethlehem and the birth of Christ and all these things is a big thing in Jamaica at this time of the year. So we can have the streets painted in blood when we're supposed to be celebrating peace and love and joy in Jesus' name. So state of emergency is in full effect and could be extended to other parishes, places as well. Rights groups have challenged detention carried out during the state of emergency. Jamaica Supreme Court this year said that authorities violated the rights of a man who said that he was arbitrarily arrested, meaning arrested for nothing, and he was detained for months without trial during the state of emergency, a regular thing that we're going. Jamaica, which has one of the region's highest homicide rates, is seeking to crack down on gangs through law that targets organized crimes and illegal guns, and that is what it said. By the way, this that I just read to you, this is not Jamaican news. May I read this from? I just read that being covered on US News. All right. So everybody in a witting and know what I'm going. I think it's only makes sense that I let you know what's going on as well. Moving right along with speed. The whole situation about whether we like the state of emergency something or not, it's been proven that it is what they go to in these times. So, I mean, the Holness administration has not been able to come up with anything better. So it's going to be state of emergency and zones of special operations until them come up with something better. Jane Anders says the big misconception of Bethlehem. Boy, I feel them think that, them come chop off my head when time. Me say nothing about them Jesus and the Bethlehem something and all that. So sometimes me know if you pick me fight. This morning, me not too want fight nobody. Me just want do the show and come off because we reach 8:56 already. So we have about 15 or 10 minutes left or so. All right then. The legal battle between the police and her name is Amoy Leon Issa. That's the mother of the little boy. The mother of 9-year-old Gabrielle King over access to her phone. Me I give you some update on it. Me just I go speed through it. Catch your ears that way, yeah, and listen. Catch your ears, I lie. All right, here we go, my friend. All right. It says that the mother of 9-year-old Gabrielle King over access to her phone Waragwan in a court as they probe the child's January 13th murder. That has escalated into a heated exchange over her privacy rights in the St. James Parish Court on Monday. The hearing was in relation to her refusal to grant the police access to her cell phone after they made a production order. Them go get a production order, she go get an injunction against that production order. Meaning, you're not getting in my phone. The big question that we were asking before was, where is her phone? Who have the phone? The police have the phone. The phone is in police custody. So the question now remains, if the phone is already in police custody, why are they asking her for permission to access the phone? I know in the US, if you are involved in a crime, or they think that you're involved in a crime, and they have access to your phone, them not gonna ask you for permission for going in the phone there. Them going into the phone, right? Especially if you are creating an obstacle for them to get into the phone. So this whole section 21 of the Cyber Crimes Acknowledgement that any search of any computer device is a restriction on someone's right to privacy. Our lawyer pulled this out. Remember, you're about to violate my client's rights. In recognizing that it is a restriction to one's right to privacy and in respect to Ms. Issa's right to privacy, the legislation has prescribed certain safeguards that the court must consider. This is what her attorney told the court. If prescribed, what steps the state must put in place before any restrictions of the client's right to privacy is restricted. This legislation has not left it up to any court to determine that what those safeguards should be. In response, a visibly unamused Ashley is her name, ordered that Cameron and the attorney representing the Jamaica Constabulary Force came to an agreement on the items of the phone, on the terms of the phone. So y'all tell me, so the judge is basically saying that y'all have to come to some kind of an agreement over if we can get into her phone or not, because she does have constitutional right saying you're violating my privacy. I want to know how that works, because again, I always pull up Vibes Cartel for your example, because we use a famous person, everybody can relate. He did not give no permission for them to go into his phone. His phone was taken. His phone was put in the evidence room. His phone was removed from the evidence room by a police officer who took the phone home with him and did all that he did. Certain pictures came out on social media and all these things. The police carried the phone, go back and put it back in, and stood before a judge and said, yes, Your Honor, I did remove that piece of evidence from the evidence room, and I took it home with me. The judge says, why you did that? He said, because my credit did run out. And I didn't want to make a phone call. But me only make one phone call, Your Honor. And that's it. And bring it back the next day and put it back. A lot of us would call that tampered evidence because we saw where the phone was used for more than that. Cartel never gave them no permission, and they didn't need any to go into his phone. So why are they asking this lady for permission to go into her phone? This is a murder investigation, as was Vibes Cartel's case, if them want to say that, right? So I see the law work for some and don't work for others. I'm trying to figure out what the connection is and how come she's able to get away with all that. I want that lady that understand, say, I don't have nothing against her enough, but I just find her to be very suspicious, because had it been anybody else, they would have gladly given over their phones. It's your child's murder investigation, unless you just don't want it solved because it's going to reveal some things that might be incriminating to you or to somebody else that is close to you. King was reportedly abducted in January 13th of this year along a road called Tucker Main Road in St. James again. After assailants dragged his mother from the vehicle in which they were traveling and sped off with the child in the back seat, the vehicle was later found along Fairfield Main Road, not too far away, and King's body was found slumped in the back seat with his throat slashed. An autistic, nonverbal 9-year-old boy. And she is not cooperating with police still. This is the argument they were having in court. This is my update for you. The police have indicated that they have been stonewalled in their investigation by a lack of cooperation from persons who are close to the matter, to include the mother. Law enforcers reportedly granted a court order on September 6th for her to give the cops access to her cell phone. September 6th, which her phone is in police custody. Communication cell site data were also to be handed over to the police within 48 hours. Blocked. Communication cell site data would not come from her. It would come from the server. That injunction says you can't violate my privacy rights like that. So not even that she know on them know. But with that said, the phone is ringing off the hook here. If you're watching this and you see me, I'm telling you the phone is ringing and I can't answer no more call, because we're just flying through these just to make sure that we put everything in place. Now, as far as there's the topic that we were supposed to actually go into this morning, let me go into that. Update with the cabbie them. The cabbies are no longer on strike. They'll be working today. They'll be working today because they have come to an agreement with government after a meeting, a heated meeting. The government has decided that they're going to put some payment plan out there, so the man them or woman them or whoever run taxi that were protesting, they can have some time to make increments of payments to pay off their tickets. One of the taxi man said, what them not understand is enough of them vehicle here where you sit on the road is not our vehicle them. We run somebody else's vehicle and make a money for ourselves. And we have mortgage for pay, picnic for go to school, this for happen, that for happen. And by the time we ton so every day, sometime all 4, 5, 6 tickets you pick up in a one day. So by the time those ticket deadlines come around, you haven't even made that amount of money yet to pay those tickets, and that's the struggle that they're facing. Let's see how that goes. I wish them work it out quickly, but the final thing for the morning, which we have 11 minutes to go through, 6 red flags that will tell you that he's not right for you. Speeding, pay attention, put on your seatbelt. There's an article here that says 6 red flags that to tell you, woman, that he's not right for you. Here's the first one. The first one is he hates his mother. Well, man, same thing for the woman then. If she don't have a good relationship with her mother, you might want to figure out what the root of that is, right? And actually also, when you look at a woman's mother, usually her mom is showing you what she is, what her daughter is, or what her daughter could turn out to be. Them always say that, don't it? Them say if you want to see what your wife are going to look like or be like in few years to come, just look on her mother. And you will be able to tell, especially if our mother raised her, don't? All right. So with that said, he hates his mother. Them go on for say, if a man you are dating hates his mom, run. Yes, there are some mothers who have put their children through some serious trauma and mothers who abandoned their children. But if he despises the mother to the point where he has nothing good to say about her, that's a red flag for you. A man who hates his mother for the most part will have issues with the women in his life, including you, and is likely to treat you with the same disdain and lack of empathy he feels for his mother. I don't agree with that still. I don't agree with that. Because I know people who came up with a very abusive mother and them really have a disdain for their mama, but they have learned what not to be. See, sometimes things don't really tell you, like people don't really affect you in a way as in you're going to be like them, you know. You're affected in more of a way like, okay, I know what not to do. I know what not to invite into my life. I know what that type of activity brings, and it don't feel good, so I don't want that happening to my own children, like that kind of stuff. So they're hard-lined in this article about men, and I wanted to balance it with my own about women and what men should look for too. Not true? All right. The next one is he's over 35 years old and he still doesn't have a vision. Here what? A man who is over 35 and still does not have a vision for his life will not be able to lead his household successfully. He is not ready to be a husband. He will have to lead. You will have to lead him. And that is a reversal of the natural order of the family structure. If a man gets to it, if that is a reversal of the natural order of the family structure, then why are there so many women that won't allow good men to lead, or why are there so many women? So I would say to my brothers, if you are a good upstanding man, right, you take care of business, you stand on business, and you can't talk to her and she won't allow you to lead, then she's not a good wife for you. She's not a good wife material for you. Balancing the scales. Not true? All right. But yes, as a man by the age of 35, them say you must have a vision for your life and where you're going. By that age, most men are expected to be well on their way to achieving their goals and their aspirations. A man wants to have certain things in place even before he marries, unless he has been through a divorce or some other life-altering experience. If a man is not on his way to achieving the basics, such as a house, a financial stability, be wary of committing to him. Yeah, I kind of tell my daughter the same thing to 35, a big man age still. I know some people are going to say stuff happens later on in life. I know somebody that was homeless at 40, and by the time he was 46, he was a millionaire, and he was writing scripts in his car, and he was, I go off a Tyler Perry story on all these things, but you don't understand what I say. There are the rule exceptions to the rule. But I wouldn't tell my daughter to bend her neck and broke her back out if a man will reach 35 and him don't know if he might go up or down or side, left or right, and he has nothing in place, nothing going for himself, and no goals and no ambition. That is just a given. But that also is on the reverse side of the role. See, this whole come take care of me thing and you owe me this and you must be able to pay all my bills and all that. You know, we were having this discussion on Instagram yesterday, and some woman write about, I'm not doing all this for no man. This is stuff that I'm doing for my husband. And I said, that's funny because you want me to be real raw, Funo? If you have virgin ears, this is where you turn your ears off or top pay attention. It's about to get a little raw. All right. She not do stuff for no man unless a husband. And I said in the comments, that's funny because men have to do, these are the same women that say men have to do husband things for them as a boyfriend. As a requirement to be her boyfriend, you have to perform husband duty roles. One bag of woman fly down upon me last night, my friend. SouFLo, we want to know what this husband duty roles is that you talk about. Everything. How many times have we heard it? Girl, if he can't help you when you're down and out with some finances and stuff, don't talk to him. You giving your body to him, he should at least be able to give you some money to help keep your coochie clean. Like it's not his responsibility to keep your coochie clean. That is personal hygiene. That's something that you should be able to do without the assistance of anybody else, right? Girl, if he can't pay my bills, then he can't be my man. I'm not responsible for your bills. I'm not responsible for your maintenance. Hair done, nails done. If you want a bad bitch or a good-looking female, I'm saying I get my nails done, I get my hair done on a regular basis. You should be able to pay for all that. My last man would pay for all that. Well, go back to your last man then, because them they are basic things where you should be able to pay for. Not true? I like your hairstyle that you were wearing when I first met you and the first couple of times I see you. May I say, yeah, our hairstyle, them turn up and our nails look good, but that no means that because we start exchange front that I am now have taken on the responsibility of maintaining your hairstyle and your nails. You not still want to look good for yourself. Eh? So your hairstyle and nails and all these things and your little bills them around the house and phone bill and this, that all depends on a man that you are with. So you will always have to be with somebody to maintain yourself. Right? So with that said, we're looking at it like it's funny how men always have to be performing husband role just to be boyfriend. And then them can look by and tell about, I'll never marry him. after you're done perform husband role. So my message to the men them is don't deplete your resources. Me not talk to broke boy, no. Me not talk to boy when not do nothing with himself. Me I talk to good man, upstanding man, hardworking man, level-headed man, who sometimes are turned into monsters by some gravelicious, hard-hearted women. If you are on your track and she no have nothing to go on, don't take up nobody where you have to go take care of. You're not hospital, you don't need patience. Okay? Make she go put something together for herself too, because she's going to be heavily dependent upon you. And a lot of the times I find is and I've said this on the show before, picking up broke people and supporting them is a thing of the past. Goes both ways. If you reach the point where you feel like you need a whole other individual to pay your lifestyle, to maintain your lifestyle, then you're not ready for a relationship. So put down the man thing, put down the woman thing, and go get yourself together. You're not ready for a relationship, and that's the problem most of the time. Most adults jump into a relationship not ready, not mentally ready, not matured enough mentally to even be in a relationship, but we run down flesh, right? We lusting and this person look good and them would have looked good with me and we would have make a good couple. We can make some nice looking babies and all them thing there, but we're not thinking farther ahead. So it ends up being a certain kind of way. And I've said this to men before. Anytime you see a woman at demand, pay this, pay that, pay this, pay that, she not even ask you, babe, how much you made this month? Is it enough to cover everything? Do I need to chip in on some things? No, he must have it. And if him don't have it, then F him. Somebody else can take him place and all that. Them woman, them, my brother, put on track shoes and lace tight here and cut like how you see and bust the 100 when the gun go off. Bowed! Gone. Left that. You understand? Another thing I find is usually these are women that were not raised by their dad. Because now them feel like, say, every man them give coochie to her there with, you better take care of me. Like, I'm about to take care of you better than your daddy did. It's not my responsibility. I understand you got some daddy issues and you're lacking in certain parts of your life, but I know my responsibility that. That means you haven't healed from your traumas either, and I'm going to have to deal with the backlash of those traumas. See? So with that said, moving along. He talks about his ex constantly. Whether it's to commend them, boy, Lisa used to look good enough. I say Lisa did have a body the panarisi, her waist like a saw. And when you see the body come out, so you know, oh, where's the babe? All right, me stop talk about her. Yeah, man, but me tell you, Lisa, yo, she did good still. She good, yeah. All right, me done. Me stop talk about her. If he is constantly talking about his ex, whether it's to commend her or making disparaging remarks about her, yo, I couldn't stand the ugly bitch. Yo, she make my life a living hell. Constantly. A man who constantly talks about his ex has unfinished business with his ex. He is not emotionally ready for a new relationship. Tell him to offload that baggage and come back when he is ready for a relationship with you. That makes perfect sense. See, the same way how a man might be in a relationship with you and then him realize you was his karma. You was his punishment. Can fuck up him last relationship. So he has to, pardon my language, so you are in punishment. Now him a look pan. Sometimes people come into your life to show you, damn. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm gonna get punished for it too. No. Because that woman was so good to me, man. But look what I have now. Because I diss somebody with it. So sometimes it's a realization and an awakening. Same way. On the part of a man. See? And it goes both ways. That also goes for a woman too. Someone want to frig up some good man and left and gone. Because you know, you want them sweet lies. And you get the sweet lies and everything was supposed to be greener on the other side. And then him start drag you like ragdoll. And you start reminiscing about how Johnny used to treat you good. And Johnny just never complain about nothing much. And Johnny did this and Johnny did that. But you can't go back to Johnny. Because now you're stuck with D-Man. So you and D-Man have to go work out at these things. It goes both ways. All right. If she's talking about her ex, especially if you're there, daddy long stroking it, You know, when you reach back so far and go back in that you hear and a queffing or queefing, then call it coof, cough, queffing, it's something, and you deal with it a proper way and you hear she ball out, Stephen, oh, and your name is James, cut. Yeah, cut. He prefers to hang out with his buddies than he prefers to hang out with you. Well, some people make it like that. This is for women. This is what it says. If the man prefers to hang out with his friends more than he prefers to hang out with you, cut. Some of them men there, and it goes on to say that the sad truth is that there are some men that women think would be ideal husbands, but they are secretly gay. So them prefer man company than being around them woman company. All right. That's one way to look at it. And it's true. It's very true. Because I mean, I see how man itch up under them brethren every day when time them have them woman at home. Right? But on the flip side, if we're not dealing already, right? On a movie and everything, living together and things going good, you notice them did up under you all the time. Well, y'all know how relationships start. It's fresh, you know, the sex is constant and it's exciting and it's good. Every time you see them two titty there, it's like the first two titty you ever seen in life, and you want it all the time, and then that fizzles and dies. And she become one of them, the disagreeable witch. The only thing missing from her is the broom and the big old sitting on the side of one long nose, so all that. The man might feel like saying brethren them is his only place of refuge. So now he might go hang around the brethren them more than him hang around you. You notice if him come home from work, I see him park downstairs or park in a driveway or park outside of the house, they feel like a good 5 minutes in a car. He might try to tell himself, say, here we go again, because she in there still. You know? So he might prefer to be a young. I go play some domino with the man them soon come. Or I said tonight a boys' night out around so and so bar and spot and these things. Me soon come. We are going on vacation, still a business vacation, all the boys for about a week. We soon come. Or something. It's not necessarily the same gay. Sometimes women create that environment where the man no feel like him want. They're around you no more, my girl, can no peace, not there. So him cut. And that's the beginning of his cutting. But yeah, if you have a man and you do all the right things as a good woman, you're not running him out the house, and he feels like, yeah, babe, you're good at everything, man, gone. Boy house every day, man yard every day. Some might have gone over there so where you might want. That might be more than a couple of red flags over there. 2 more left. 1, he does not give you treats. Your dog, your pet, but he does not give you treats. You can meet a man at a time when he's going through a financially tough situation, but a man who cares for you will still find thoughtful ways to show you that you are special to him, sending those roses and these things and know that you like flowers and these things and candy and ray. Well, here what? There's something called reciprocation. All right? So I talk for the brother them same way. There's something called reciprocation. She no get no more flowers because she forgets me like massage. So me over here, my back hurt me and me can't even tell her, say, babe, come massage my back now. Because it's like she don't want to do it no more. So me no remember say you like flowers neither. Yeah. So every time I go buy flowers for you, I say, you know what, me save the money here and carry myself go on masseuse and actually get a massage and do something good for me. Instead of the other way around. Because before, when me would have taken money buy some expensive flowers car come give you would have work out the masseuse part, then me never have to worry about how much me have to go pay a masseuse. Because either way, me want the massage. So it's called reciprocation. All right? So, brother, you have a good woman, she do good things for you on a regular basis. You reciprocate, you do good things for her. Ladies, for some reason, it seems like you are very forgetful at times. Because you always want, oh my God, you have changed. You're not the person I met. You used to wine and dine and 69 me and all these things. And now it's not like that anymore. You have to look on yourself and say, what did you take away and stop doing that made this man feel like he needed to do all these things for you before? You were giving. Now you're not giving so much anymore. So him stop give too. It's kind of like a self-preservation thing, right? All right. And the last one now for the morning. Well, it's 2 left. He makes no effort to connect with your children. I'm not going to go through that one there because I've already said it. Me a big hypocrite. Me no want no woman will have no other picnic by no other man. That plain and simple, and that's my choice. SouFlo, you favor me no know what. But you will want a woman though come take up you with your bag of picnic them though. Yeah, for sure. I would. And here's why. Because she won't be required to pay a penny towards any of mine. Because me can take care of mine by myself. See? Some woman, them want a man come in there and come take up she and her 4 picnic them, and this man have responsibilities now beyond just the one person who carry the one little pum pum when did I try run down and get some off. Now I'm stuck in a situation where it's 4 picnic in here plus the woman, a 5 mouth in there plus for me 6. Bills just multiply times 6, my friend. I don't know think about that. So yeah, if you're in a relationship, by the way, where you have children, you need to pump your brakes and go slow as far as introducing who you are deal with to your children them. Because some people are temporary and you don't want to be upsetting the kids. Next one come in and gone out. Next one come in and gone out. Boy, daddy, I switched them out like, you know? Oh, damn, mommy switching out these ninjas like crazy. What's she doing? She selling coochie or what? We had a new stepdaddy 2 months ago. Now Georgie in her room. Next week is Steven. Next week is Mr. Mills. Mr. Mills, the superintendent for the building. Next week, you have to be careful of that. Right? Some people don't really want to bond with your children, women. They just want to bond with your batutsi. They want to bond with your panty pudding. They don't really have your children in mind. See? So sometimes it's a give and take kind of thing, and the man is like, yo, you know, I throw the vibe so strong with this, that still. Me go and take care of the pick of them still. But he's not going to come in with open arms and I want to be your... And what about your children? They might not accept who you bring in with just open arms. Everybody have to go take some time to get to know each other, especially if the pick of them already know who them daddy is. You ain't my daddy. You can't come in at the house and come talk about pick this up and put it over there and come here. Why are you so... Who are you trying to discipline? Who are you? You sleeping with my mama. You're not my daddy. So I saw that go. He makes no effort to connect with your children. If you're in one of those fellas where you're going to take up a woman and you have your picnic them, let me close this morning by saying this. Read the story yesterday. The female said, there's something. I've been dating my boyfriend for about 2 years now, or 2 years now and some months or whatever. And best thing that ever happened to me, we're happy. We do a lot together. Very active lifestyle. He has 2 children, but he has 2 children from his previous marriage. He's divorced, right? He has custody of the children, shared custody, so we get to see them on the weekends. All right, and that was fine. Off recently, his baby mom been going through some stuff, so they're in court battling for custody. I'm at work today, and he just texted me and said he won full custody of the 2 children. I'm about to text him and tell him that we got to break up. Am I wrong or right for this? What I tell you? Am I wrong or right for this? You know what I said? I said, I like that she did that because she's being honest. She's being honest. So he knows straight up front, said, I can deal with... She said it in the letter. She says, I'm not ready to be no mom to no other bunch of kids that's not mine. I could do it for the weekend. They come for 2 days and go back home. But living in the house with me 7 days a week, I can't do it. I say, yo, she upfront. She didn't lie. It's better you get that than you get somebody who abuse your children. There's different kinds of abuse out there. Because them not coof cuff, the picnic them, punch them up, doesn't mean they're not abusing them. You have emotional abuse. It's subtle. You understand? You have different kinds of abuse out there that's subtle. When you have somebody in your house where cut their eye and you picnic them and look them up and down and, you know, give them a cold shoulder or a vibe that you're not really welcomed here, but I'll tolerate it. Children look at adults as authority figures, regardless. So if them see this woman with daddy I love up in the house, them are gonna say, well, she means a lot to my dad, and I love my dad, but I could tell she don't like us. No matter how subtle it is, the kids pick it up. I could tell she don't like us. So, you know, every weekend come and their mom is like, okay, time to go to your dad's. them kids ain't happy coming to you. Them kids are like, damn, we gotta go back in there with Miss Stoneface. We gotta go back in there with Miss Shitty Attitude. We gotta go back in there with this woman. I wish I could just spend time with my dad without having this person there with this uncomfortableness in the air. And remember, children process stuff different from grown people. You understand? So we're gonna left it right there so this morning. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. There's good people and bad people out there. Try to be around the good people them. Sometimes you don't know because people come camouflaged in all kinds of forms, pretending to mean good when, you know, a destruction them come with. So just be careful out there. And at the end of the day, make sure you be around good people. Treat yourself good. If anything, it's okay to be alone. All right? Big up yourself, and I'll catch you right here tomorrow morning, right as upon Morning Thoughts. One love to each and every one of you. I'm out. Peace.